All right, so I want to talk to you about a deck that I've really been enjoying lately, and this is the Blood Unholy Herald Death Knight, or Harold, however you want to say it. This deck has been a lot of fun because one, I'm winning with it, and winning is always fun. But two, you get to do a lot of big stupid things at the end if the game goes that far, right? So I feel like with this deck, I'm always in it with many classes. I don't really feel like I can't win. You can have a little bit of trouble with some aggro decks like Paladin, but if you or the new aggro Druid that's been really doing really well, but if you plan for it, you can usually weather that storm until you can get to your mid to late game, where you can then usually outpace them with just gaining health. So with this deck, you have your basic early entries where you have Morbid Swarms, Murmy, um, and we have a Command Claw. I'll get to that later. But Morbid Swarm and Command Claw are our only two unholy cards, I believe, in this deck. The rest is all blood. But you're like, well, why are we only running four unholy cards? Like, why is it worth it? It's worth it, trust me. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But so what you really want to do is you want to establish an early game. If you are playing against somebody like a druid or a paladin that is really going to just swarm and overwhelm you, your goal is to keep them off the board. You want to ensure that you know, you're not worried about getting that chip damage early. Your goal is to pretty much outlast them. Not that chip damage is not great, but if it's a choice between keeping a paladin dude off the board or one damage or two damage, you want to keep the guy off the board. We have infested breasts in here, which are very useful, especially against some of these divine shield minions like the righteous protector. Now we run Staff of the Endbringer. And if you have Staff of the Endbringer, you just equip that and just swing with it until it blows up, or you can play a Command Claw. Now, don't save your Command Claws in the early game to do this, but this is an instant clear. This is a 5 mana clear the board, right? So this is a very powerful tool that comes up quite often. We also run um, Memorandum Manifest. Now, the key to this card is you want to play it and get multiple Arisen Onyxias, right? That's where the fun is. That's what's enjoyable about this deck. Just keep bringing Onyxia back, keep gaining 16 health, and just go from there. But if you're playing against an aggro type deck and your biggest thing is to stay on the board, right? So a lot of times what will happen is you will end up having plenty of corpses and you play our reanimated Petrodex, this is perfectly okay to revive with the Memorandum Manifest if you need to clear and stabilize. Like it feels bad sometimes, but you really want to keep it. Now we also have our Herald cards, of course. Obsessive Technician is a fantastic card. I pretty much have always kept it in the mulligan stats also agree with me. For me, it has where is it? An 81% win rate, mulligan win rate. So you do try to keep it in your hand because you can usually coin that out or just get on for because it's a 3/5 body with lifesteal. Plus, you get the 1/1 or the 2/2, depending on how many times you've herald. Plus, you also get whatever minion you get. Now, you might be tempted to not play those minions, and sometimes that's right, sometimes that's wrong. Look at your health total, think about what your opponent's going to do next, and make that decision. You're going to gain that health back later, so a little bit of health for tempo is almost always good. I rarely don't play it. Every once in a while, I'll get a card that I will want to hold on to do something else because it is randomly generated, or sometimes my health is just a little too low to play it out, and I'm putting myself too much at risk. But for the most part, when you generate those, just play them. They're really good. Experimental animation is a fantastic clear. It heralds. It usually clears an aggro board, and you get the minion off of that. So you can usually generate a lot of these things again with Hematurage. So it's definitely a good card there. A lot of times you can play that early to try to find something for later on, or you can use it to try to find an answer to your current situation. Your goal is really to try to herald as quickly as possible. So if you have a choice between playing a herald card or something else, If it's not going to cost you tempo or anything like that, you want to play the Herald cards. You want to get you don't wanna play, excuse me, you don't wanna play Deathwing until you have to most of the time, especially if you're playing against another Deathwing class. You can usually hold onto it against other Deathwing classes. Now, there's the occasional thing, like you get the, Dios, Ragnaros kinda build that, I lost to the other day that I had, like, 45 health and I still lost to it. So, those things are gonna happen, but for the most part, you want to save your Deathwing till after they play their Deathwing if you can help it. That's just generally a good plan because you can get that big 12-12 and all those things and then just clear your stuff and do it to you. It's kind of a lot like, when we used to have to hold on to Reno, who Renoed first and whatnot. But the real bread and butter, check out the podcast, of this deck is Arisen Nixia. And basically you want to play her, and then you want to res her again and again and again with things like Memory and Manifest. You can often generate a lot of them with Hemitorage. Usually, you get two cards. You want to try to make sure that you can play both of the minions that you're going to get. Sometimes you have to be careful because some of those minions will summon other minions, and then you can't play that other one. So make sure you check your order there. Usually, it doesn't really even matter what you draw because it's just going to be gaining 16 life, couple big 8/8s, let them go. So overall, it's just an absolutely fun deck. I can't, like I said, I can't stop playing it. You got Huskin here. It's just solid. You have plenty of corpses. So we have one Soul Rest Ceremony, which you can save for kind of like a final little extra damage, but it's also very handy when you play something like your Obsessive Technician and you need to catch up on board because you can play that. Yes, your minions die, but you get some life gain and you get not only the Obsessive Technician, but you get your Herald card, your Herald Soldier, your Soldier, and you get whatever card you generated. If you can play that, then afterwards, it's a pretty solid group of rush. Um, Sometimes you're going to have to make the hard decision and play a Nixia for less than four, right? Less than a full Herald, less than getting it all the way to the max after four Heralds. I had one game which I've included in this. I believe I included that in the games we're about to watch. That I had to cast a Nixia on one with no upgrades, and it felt really bad, but it still was the right play. So this game, I feel like, does challenge you to figure out how to survive early game tempo, and then transition to a late game that, quite honestly, if you make it to the end of the game, you're usually in a better position just because you just have that much more health, and it's not armor, it's health, and that can make a difference. But enough talking about the deck. Go ahead and go play it. Enjoy it. It's fun. I love to hear what you think about it. This is not a very widely played deck right now, and I mean, I'm winning with it, right? So if I can win with it, you can win with it.
Versus Uther. Forged in crystal, tempered in light.
Hostile life form
All right,
detected.
so we are going to start with just the Morbid Swarm, and we almost always keep Obsessive Technician. It gets our heralds going. It's very good value. Yes, you take some damage when you play the minion if you play the minion that you generate, but you're also getting usually that life steal, so you get it right back. A lot of times you can figure out a way to just get that health back real quick. So we're playing up against a paladin. I like Morbid Swarm right here. Just summon 2/1 Monance. We could potentially coin out Mermy and really try to get going here, but we're going to want to try to coin out the Obsessive Technician on 3. So, well, that's pretty much what that is. All right, so Command Claw. So we're going to Command Claw into one of these guys. One of them's going to get 3 through. We're going to kill one of them, and we're going to go face. I like that because you wanna keep, especially with the dude paladin, if that's what they're playing and stuff like this, you want to kind of keep them off the board as much as possible. They're gonna have a pretty good turn here, right? Because they played hatching ceremony, so it's almost guaranteed that they are playing the we don't have any fell spells. It's almost guaranteed that they are playing the card Call to Arms or whatever, not Call to Arms, Muster for Battle. because they're going to get the +2/+2 and at the end of the turn. Hey, we like a 5/5 healing. Muster for battle. Yep, there we are. End of turn. Get the +1/+1. Righteous Defender to kind of go along with it. Sure. Kill the 1/1. Yep. All right. Well, this is kind of annoying. So we clear there. We pop one. We'll get another minion here. So we can do this. Discard a Hematorage. Ooh, and we like an experimental automatron. Animation. Experimental animation. We also can now Memorand Manifest here to get another dude, get another Petrodex.
Reporting for duty.
Where is like my overlay? I gotta fix that. All right, so it would be nice if we did happen to already have what we needed, but we don't. So we will cast this guy. We'll get rid of that guy. We'll get rid of this guy. Play that. Next turn, unless they play the hero that gives everything Divine Shield or something like that, we should be good to play the experimental animation.
Reporting for duty.
Have faith, even in dark times.
That's fine. That is actually just fine. Activate this. Yeah, this seems fine. Again, we're mostly just trying to keep them off the board.
I'll show you how it's done. Reporting for duty.
Little rush on that guy.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Teamwork really gives you all those 1/1s. That's a pain in our butt. All right.
My blood for the Lich King.
Yes, please.
Food for the world.
We're kind of just weathering a storm here, but we should be in okay shape. I mean, they're probably going to play uh, what is it? The guy, the taunt, the triple taunt. Hey, Osuri, how are you? Good to see you. There's another muster for battle. Yep. All right, so they're clearing out our ability to clear one of these guys, but that's fine.
Reporting for duty.
Oh, that is a beautiful thing. So we'll Petrodax here. We'll Command Claw here.
And now yours.
And just for good measure, I will Husk. Probably would have liked the card draw, but I like the extra protection. Oh, very nice. How you doing, Peter?
Blood to save the dream.
Oh, yep, there it is, Torith. The Unbreaking. We must break him, despite his name. Okay, well. I mean, very, very solid. If you're asking, no, I'm not playing Diablo 4. If you're playing Diablo 4, that's cool.
Reporting for duty.
Okay. We like this.
Cooking up something special.
I shall resolve. The victory is yours.
All right, so we have the ability to kind of keep them off the board, and in a matchup like that, that's really what we're looking to do, is just kind of weather the storm, because we have the ability to gain health at the end when we play it next year, right? So our goal is really just to not let them get a foothold in that matchup.
The Lich
All right,
King.
mage, sure.
Jaina.
That I love that portrait.
The cold is catching.
The past is dead.
Always like to start with a morbid swarm. Good times. All right, morbid swarm, summon 2/2/1/1 ants. Depending on what they do, we have multiple options for turn 2. The forbidden sequence. So I think a really good idea here is just command claw and gain some damage.
You are mischief.
In half an hour, I'm off to a game night to work building a door towards my precious 2. I don't know what that means, but that sounds fun. Eternal Toil, sure.
Time runs out on me.
Well, that kind of makes the decision for us, right? Keep them off. Keep them off the board. But that's not necessarily what we're worried about against Mage.
Change is coming. Come closer, critters.
All right, what do we like here? Might as well start off with Hemtorage, right?
For the Lich King.
Um, so we can clear the board. I think I'd rather just get my experiment on. The experiment, my experimental animation is a solid card. Oh, very nice, very nice. I was not aware of that, so pretty cool. Sounds like it's a triangle though, waiting to happen. Alright, well, we're gonna clear this.
Yours!
And we don't really have a whole lot of options here. So we might as well just Remnant of Rage, draw some cards. I thought it might have. I thought my Precious 2 might have been like a new game or something like that, or a new something, new version of Commander.
Change is coming.
All right, Shadow Informant. They're gonna. I think they're about to click their quest. Nope, they got one more after this. That clicks it right. Yep, one more after this, and they're gonna play it right now. No, Conflagrate. Sure, we'll take a card. Thank you. So we could just experimental here, but I like playing the
Something special.
Obsessive Technician. Get some lifesteal on the board. Reduce the cost of a random beast in my hand, which I don't think we have. Undead Dragon. I mean, we have the Petrodaxes, but we don't have one on us at the moment. So we'll take what we can get. Tempo. Now we don't have a lot of. We don't like generating dark gifts or anything like that, so we're not going to generate a Viper. Okay. Um. Three, four. This gets me a rage. This is fine, right?
More you know.
Rise!
Not a lot of good choices for them, but it at least, yeah, obviously completes their quest, but at least it's a little less egregious. Yep. All right. We've only heralded twice, so let's herald a third time.
Cooking up something special.
So if we pop this, this is amongst all enemies. So ideally, this kills that, and then it does 3 more damage. Um, we could weapon and command claw, but I don't mind some card draw here.
Citadel stands strong.
I know we're floating a mana, but I'm okay with it. Now we at least have a threatening board. They're going to play their weapon and try to find a solution. Oh, or they're going to flame strike. Oh. All right, we're gonna finish our evoke.
Death itself strong.
We have a clear, so we're not gonna play stuff we don't have to. So every
We are but sand in the hands of a dime.
we can go ahead and just get this going. We now have a 2 mana clear if we need it. There's the stone. Spark of life. Sure. So now the life game begins, right, for us?
With every step.
We haven't had to use a memorandum on a Petrodax in this particular game, so means we get multiple Onyxias.
Time runs out on me.
So depending on what they pick here. Oh, who cares?
There's never just one of me.
Although, do I just clear? I don't hate just clearing, honestly. Because we get card draw out of it.
Away in my eternal prison.
Oh, yep. Do we care? No, I don't think we want to do that. I think we'll husk. I felt like we were okay, but at the same point, we're not in a rush. We have plenty of time, I think. They're not burn mage, they're BS mage, so
Things are not what they seem. How exciting.
we can make it work. Are we getting a card? Nope, they kept it. Oh, Shaladrill, sure. They're already halfway through their weapon. They haven't really done much. Milk of Kings. So we may be death winging here. Life Bloom. Yeah, I think we're gonna Deathwing. Yeah, I think we're gonna Deathwing.
Your soul is mine.
Why did I say a mistake? I didn't say a mistake.
Soul shooter.
My hand is too full.
I don't know why I said it was a mistake. It was no mistake. We did what we wanted to. We played the cards we wanted to. So they have to deal 25 damage, then another 20. That's fine. Bursting shot. Searing Fissure. Interesting choice.
Is there trouble?
All right. Well, that changes things up a little bit. If we draw a Petrodax, I think we're good, though, right? Oh, sure. We'll take that. All right, let them deal with that. Buzz with the 10-game streak. Good job. Some might say you need to touch grass, but at this time of night, I think you've already touched your grass. Hopefully, didn't you break your arm or something like that? It seems to be going around. Okay.
We must band together.
Okay. So they still have. Okay, so they're gonna have a pretty big board here.
You are not part of
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Good for them.
you are not part of their
We're in trouble. We are in trouble. My divine shield's already been removed. The death rattle, it does nothing.
Runs out on me.
The Titans have left us much to uncover.
Cast one random mage secret. Okay. Alright, well. I think I know what we're doing here. So we'll hit that. We'll hit that. We'll Arise Onyxia. If it's Explosive Runes, that kind of sucks. Sweet. We'll play that. We'll Soul Rest Ceremony. Oh, Counter Spell. Okay. Of all the spells that get countered, that's a pretty good one. Okay, this is their last one off the weapon. Which we like.
Was that an oops?
Well, that was an oops. What else you got? What else you got? Okay. First flame, second flame, third flame. Altar time.
Time runs out on me.
All right, so one thing I always keep forgetting to check, which we can check here. Although, actually, we can't because they're just going to concede, right? Oh. Maybe? We were going to do a little experimenting, but we might as well just be the gentleman. Take the victory, move on to our next game. The health gain at the end is great. I had patron luck turned on.
King Crush versus Cyrella.
I must not fall.
Yeah, priest. All right, priest is not a fun matchup for us or for anybody that likes life and their own time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get a new drink after this game. That was my first mistake, assuming that we'd be done with this game anytime soon. All right, we do want to try to play to win here. So let's try to keep that in mind as we're going. So let's go ahead and draw a card.
Citadel stands strong.
Let the scales fall from the eye.
Sure. Um, we can start to evoke next turn, or herald next turn. Does anyone else call it evoke? Or is that just a me thing? Because we're evoking. Kinda. All right, 5 mana. We evoke.
Death itself draws
We herald.
near.
And this is a dragon, so we at least, you know, gain a little extra health there. Oh, nice.
Welcome to the hallowed tower.
That's fine. That's fine. We don't care. All right, 6 mana.
The citadel stands strong.
Perfect.
My blood for the Lich King!
Think our goal is to sap their will to live. We need to find our herald cards.
Join me and victory is arisen. Job done.
Still nothing. All our evoke, all our herald cards are at the bottom of the deck.
Elune, bring
Yep,
guidance.
as always, Kaldari Priestess. One of
Did
about
we
a
just
zillion.
become best friends? Yup.
Welcome to the spot, Snoozy. Good to have you.
Welcome to the hallowed tower.
Hey, there's a herald.
Did we just become
We'll
best
take it.
friends? Yup.
Dark Bonnie, welcome to the spot. Good to have you. That I don't mind at all. We can just use Soul Rest Ceremony to trigger that, right? This is such a weird card. I like it. Here comes a Mideast Triumph. Nope, a men. Yeah, men. Oh, there's the counter spell. Now it's Mideast Triumph. Oh no, Moonwell. Wow. Nothing. Love it. I could have looked and see what I saw left in my deck, but that was a very anticlimactic curator. Both me and my opponents look at my lack of cards being drawn. And I'm just like, okay, sure.
The sun exposes weakness.
My blood for the Lich King!
Let's just pop the spell.
Touch.
11 cards. Pretty much half of bottom of our deck are Herald cards. We got, well, 2 Observable Technicians, 2 Experimental Animations.
Welcome to the hallowed tower.
The question here is, do we just rip in our Nixia? Hey, Dragon, good to see you. I think we can. That seems solid. This just draws corpses. Gives me 4 health. I think it's worth it. Ten cards. 4 of them will evoke. That's fine.
Let the scales fall from the eye.
Now, we know what they have, right? They have Medivh, they have whatever. Deathwing is not what we're looking for. I think we're okay here. Nine cards in our deck. 8 cards in our deck. Half of them. So now we have a 50% chance to draw a card we're looking for. Karazhan. Alright, so are we kind of forced to play Deathwing here? I'm going to say no. 8, 16, 19, 20. Alright, so let's do this.
Learn your place.
The Titans could use some chaos.
And then we just punch him.
Elune, bring guidance.
Kildori Priestess is fair card. Like, I have no problem with it power wise. I hate it though. Absolutely hate the card. Well, they just got themselves an obsessive technician. Oh, is it card? Is it fake card or is it minion? card. Never mind. No, they haven't played. They haven't played RTS, right? So, all right. So we know we're playing this, right?
Cooking up something special.
And we know we're clearing with this. And I don't think we need to play the Twilight Drake. I don't think it really buys us much. 6 cards. 6 cards. And 3 of them are Herald cards. They don't run, no. Neither of us run Ysera, so. Right, that's fine. Who does it herald for them? The Herald's an Ixia, okay. Right. Give me experimental animation, please. Thank you. Now they are going to do the thing, right? But we can still gain a lot of health. And do they have enough to get over 70? I think they do. Like here they're gonna play here's where they play Medivh, right? Or just Shadow Word Ruin, sure. Medivh's Triumph. Nice, so conservative. Now what are we doing at this point?
Don't keep your thoughts to yourself.
Well, I would have rather waited, but this is fine. Sure. We are starting to run out of steam. Like there's only so much we have in this deck. We're not an infinite deck. We don't have forever value. We're not running Kill Jaden. Me no take candle.
No time.
Eventually, they have to play Medivh. Or maybe they kill us. I don't know. Mend? Sure. The good news is we have 5 dragons that cost 1 mana that we don't know what the hell they do. I honestly have to try to not play Onyxia until they play Medivh, right?
No
Yeah,
time.
Medivh's probably this guy right here that they've been holding on since turn 2. No, if we draw another Onyxia, then all bets are off, right? Then we can play that.
We are friends now. Hello, friend.
The Earth Mother wails on us.
This would kind of cut into our hand, right? So ritual power would we lose one of our things, which is fine, right? I still think no, we save that for next turn.
Put your faith in the light.
My hand is full.
Oh, if that would have been Medivh, that would have been a beautiful thing. But here he is right now. In the 2 hole. Remember, I said it was in the 2 hole, right? Y'all didn't believe me. I'm telling you, it was in nope. That was a devouring plague. Okay, sure. I was wrong.
No time.
There's an illusion. Knew it was coming. I miss lethal. 5, 10. Yeah, you're probably right. Yep, you're right.
No time.
Always be counting the lethal. Definitely not doing that.
Is there trouble?
Wait, deuce. Black blood. Oh, interesting.
No time.
That did not work out the way they wanted it to. So 5, 10, 14, 17, 21. Not enough.
Cooking up something special.
Enough? Survive that
All
far,
right.
then you can all right, 44,000. Jolt. We're playing so we have a CCLH match tonight. I'm playing Joltik. All right, cool.
Versus Garrosh.
All right. We only keep the infested breath here. We can do better. Playing the honker. I changed my filter. I didn't want that. Hold on. So let me do today. All right, cool. Give me some ants. Not just ants. Undead ants, which are beasts. Ever think of ants as a beast? All right. So we might as well infested breath. And then what are we doing on the next turn? I don't think I need to coin out the ants. I thought about it, but I think I've decided against it. Actually, I've clearly decided against it since, well, I didn't do it. Torch, yeah. Let's see what's in the Hemtorage. Oh, interesting. We don't have a good turn 5 play right now. We can actually play that next turn. Potentially. All right, we now have corpses. Interesting choice. We could command claw into that hero power, but I like just, hey, here's some leeches. Here's a Petrodax. Deal with it. I like having the Petrodax because if they kill it, it's now in the pool for a memorandum manifest and top of the pool. So it's something that we can possibly get use out of if we need to. and that's just something good to have. All right, rush, charge. All right. So let's go ahead and so what do we have? We have 6 mana. We haven't even started evoking yet, and we probably need to. But they're also at 21 health. And this gives us both an empty mana crystal. That gives them to 7, 8 next turn. I think I'm gonna just evoke here. Oh, yeah, we'll take it. We'll heal back up, clear out one of their minions, eat their life. All of our favorite things. Doesn't kill the treant. Yep. They're not where they want to be, I don't think. The only thing we don't like is we've only evoked once, right? Or excuse me, heralded once. So we're behind on that game. But we haven't had the opportunity to, so it's not like we've been deciding not to. We just haven't drawn the cards.
Death itself draws
Oh, okay, sure.
speak to me.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so let's just clear this right here, right? All right. This doesn't do this enemy minions, not enemies. This brings me back a Petrodax. Um if I swing into this, we get this for 2 mana. And we already attacked this turn, right? So that's not super helpful yet.
Citadel stands strong.
All right, but we can see what's in the Hemtourage.
Blood for the Lich King!
Leeches seem pretty solid. This has become a blood leech game out of nowhere. They're looking for a card. They need Deathwing. I'm gonna say they need Deathwing, and they're playing Deathwing with 1 Herald, and that's going to be 4 damage to clear the board. And you know what? We honestly don't care because we do this, we swing, we hit that, we end turn, we win game. Because health does not care about armor. So as you can see, the Herald Death Knight, it has the power of Onyxia and the heralds that you're doing and whatnot, but there's also other ways you can win the game. You have some generation, you have some tempo. So it's more of a mid-range deck, I think, than a control deck. I mean, I guess it's got a little bit of everything, right? So the thing that it mostly has that I've been really enjoying is it wins games, at least for me, and it's super fun. So I hope you give it a try. Thanks for watching.